Hey, how you guys doing today?
Hey, Billy, how you doing, bud?
I am doing well. Now, you guys are on tour. You're heading all over the place. Let's talk about the Stand Together tour.
Yes.
Michael, tell me a little bit about this. What are you guys bringing to this show this time around?
Well, every show is different. The record Stand came as a result of having a lot of time off unexpectedly because of COVID. And man, was it a blessing because we got time to work on the record finally at home, not coming home for a couple of days working, going back out on the road, confused what's going on, back home again, throwing some stuff down. We had time. Thank you, COVID. That's the silver lining in the COVID cloud. So the record's called Stand. And the tour, I mean, I love being a black guy in a band with white guys because it's like living integration. Here we are, living it out, not just talking about it, but doing it. You know, talk is cheap. As my dad would say, it takes money to buy land. We bought land in this band. We've been on a lot of land, a lot of tours, and staying together with Danny Gokey, Adam Agee, Mac Powell says it's strongly enough to, I think. And in a divided America, my gosh, do we need times like today, or times like now, with songs like Stand and with a message like Stand. Once again, black and white standing together.
Yeah, no, that's so powerful and it's so true, right? I mean, you guys make the music that people need to come together. And I love that you're living that out. Now, Duncan, talk a little bit about COVID, how you guys navigated that. Michael was kind of hinting at that a little bit. I would imagine it was difficult probably being able to obviously tour and do different things. So speak about that a little.
Imagine one thing for Duncan Andrews. He navigated it pretty well at the beach. He did a great job at the beach.
I definitely made lemonade out of lemons, no doubt about it. But I think you got to do that in any situation you're confronted with. But we did, as Michael said, we took the time to say, we looked at each other and said, look, if we don't come out of this thing with a smash record, that we might as well quit. So the wonderful thing with it gave us the time to really dive deep. Into the creative process, which we have never really, really ever done before, believe it or not. We've had moments, but this time we go backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards. It's not good enough. Let's do it again. It's not good enough. Let's go again. Let's rewrite this. And so through all of that, I truly believe that we've got one of the best records we possibly have. But coming out the other side, I got to spend a lot more time with my family as well. I had some just wonderful memories of being home. And for a traveling musician, that doesn't happen a lot.
Very rare.
And one last thing I'll leave you with, I got a taste of retirement and it sucks.
Are you kind of the people, like, this is how I am. I don't want to be doing nothing. I want to go out and work. I like to work.
Yeah. Look, when you love what you do, when you believe you're called to what you do, yes, it's work, but it's not work.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
100%.
I'm not working for the weekend. I love going out on the weekends. I mean, I love what I do. So, you know, I've joked before about, you know, when I die one day, I want to die in my drum kit because that's my happy place, right?
Yeah, right.
Although to be gross for all the fans,
I know.
you know, I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want anyone to have that visual. But ultimately, you know, I'd like to be out doing what I love to do rather than, you know, sitting on the beach, which also I love to do, which is beautiful. But I got a taste of that, and what I realized for the first time, it's the hard work that gives the vacation or the beach its value. If you just live that life, it's so true. If you just live that life the whole time, it would have less value over time because it's just what I do, right? But it's the not being there that gives that moment value, and I think that's what I've learned to appreciate is that. You know, if I can go down more often, that's great. But if I've got nothing else to do but to sit on a beach, then I'm going to be bored and I'm going to be annoying everyone around me because I'm a bit like Michael.
Michael's going to be able to answer.
What's next? Let's go. So anyway, it's all good, and it's given us all a great kind of reset to reset our compass to where, oh my gosh, this is amazing what we do, and I think future's great.
Well, I have to ask you both this, and I have a feeling, Duncan, you're going to say some sort of city that has a beach, and based on this conversation. But I want to ask you both, Michael, starting with you, what city is the one that you're the most excited, and maybe it's one you've already hit, but to visit on this tour?
Where do you live?
I'm in New York.
Oh, New York.
New York.
Hey!
New York City. No. If I thought you meant out of the country, because out of the country would be the state of the state. It'd be the country of Italy the rest of my life. But back to America, I like California and Texas a lot. We do a lot of shows in Texas, a lot of shows in California. Nice weather, great people. I grew up in the East, so I love New York. I love DC where I grew up. But yeah, I'm a California kid or a Texas kid.
Okay. Very good. Very good. And how about you, Duncan?
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I mean, I love Cali. I love the weather out there. I love the people.
Yeah.
And of course, Texas. Some of the most beautiful people live in Texas.
Oh yeah.
I mean, per capita, I don't know what it is about Texas.
It's the Texas water, man.
Well, I don't know what it is, but it's
the barbecue.
That's what it is. It's a Texas barbecue. Just gorgeous, gorgeous people. And I love Florida too.
Yeah, me too.
I'm a fan of Florida. So there's that.
Okay, so I want to ask you, Michael, about God's Not Dead. You guys have had so many hits and so many big songs. There's something about God's Not Dead that deeply resonated, and it's a very timeless, song for a lot of reasons. But what has that song meant to you?
It's been a lot to me. I've been in a couple of bands. Of course, DC Talk, we had the song Jesus Freak, and our two biggest songs, Jesus Freak and In the Light. And I think, as you write songs and as you do play songs and you cover and write them, a lot of bands, or a few bands have, I would call them, what's what I'm looking for?
Career songs? Is that
career songs, yeah. I mean, we had a lot because we had colored people in DC Talk. We had Tearing on the Walls. We had New Thing. But arguably, Jesus Freak and In the Light were the big ones. With Newsboys, arguably, We Believe in God's Not Dead are our big ones. And we're blessed to have those songs. But God's Not Dead. It just resonated with people. It's the battle cry. And it's the fact, we're not putting people's faces, but the fact is, so many people say, God's for old women and young kids, or God's was for yesterday, or God's not for today, or it's old, it's 2,000 years old. No, my God is not dead. He's alive. He roars like a lion in my heart every day, in this guy's heart every day, and people get it. Well, what was shocking was the fact that little kids, were hooked. They love that song like it's pizza, popcorn, and cotton candy.
My 6-year-old loves it. My 6-year-old loves that song.
I'm not shocked. They all love it. And it's crazy because I had no clue recording that song that it would be that. No, of course we don't know the future, but it's been a massive turning force. The movie came out, first movie, did $80 million at the box office, which is crazy. It's just crazy stuff. You just knew, who knew, But yeah. that's the power of God in a song and a movement.
Absolutely. And Duncan, for you, because Michael, you just mentioned, obviously, movie series, right? You end up with not just one film, numerous films. Yeah. What's it like, Duncan, to know that there's a legacy that extends beyond just the song?
Well, I think it broadens your horizons as far as you're not just into music now. Now you're into not only something that people can hear, but also something people can see.
Yeah.
So when you're involved in something that involves 2 or 3 of people's senses, it has a lot greater impact than just the music itself. It's funny that we didn't become famous to a lot of people until they saw us on the big screen, right? It's the weirdest thing. So we had a moment after when that movie hit that, we couldn't go anywhere because it was, people had seen that movie. I think it was 6 million people saw it the first weekend or first 2 weeks or something. It was crazy.
We could probably go to the restroom.
It had massive impact straight off.
It really did.
Straight out of the gate. So I think for the first time we realized the impact of movies. We realized that we'd be going through an airport and we couldn't get out.
Oh yeah,
get in or out of the airport.
Especially when we were together, Johnny, because we're so recognizable, the two of us.
I guess in that sense, but it was stunning, the impact of those movies, and still to this day, Michael was saying it's the kids that resonate with whatever it is about this song. Whether it's the music, whether it's the lyrics, whether it's a combination of the both, it's kids love it.
I think it's the roaring like a lion part.
Maybe
roaring like a lion.
Bit, kids love that kids part. Kind of resonate with that on a kind of primal level.
They do.
Yeah, but I think in life sometimes we search for words that we think are so lofty and they're going to just resonate in a new way, and yet it's the simple truths, because everybody loves that song, adults, kids, right? It's the simple truth that you speak, I think, in that song, and that you see then coming out through the movies that has that impact because it's such common sense, but yet it's so lost in our culture sometimes.
Well, it is. I think we're told everything, but we're God's dead. We don't need. We got science now. We're smarter than that. If you believe in God, basically it's for old ladies and little kids, like Michael's mentioned.
The feeble-minded, the weak-minded,
Right.
If you need a crutch, well,
something
you need some
in.
Kind of deity to believe in, because you're a little weaker. You're not as smart. You're not quite as bright. So you need a crutch to sit on. And of course, that is anything but the truth. But it's just the way of the nature of our culture right now, is because we are creating other gods, whether it be money, sports, fame, whatever it be. We're creating other gods. People will worship something.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at a football game. They're hooting and hollering, jumping up and down, and that's my 100%. Team, go my team. It's a form of worship. It's a form of religion. It really is. NASCAR's the same. And I'm not bagging these things. I love football and NASCAR. And I love it all. But I think these were inherently built to worship something. And if it's not the God Almighty, it's going to be something lower, a lot lower in the rungs, whether it be football, fame, sex, money, power, whatever you name it.
Anything can become an idol. Anything can become an idol.
Yeah, it does, because that's where we're built.
Yep. So, okay, last question for both of you. Michael, I want to start with you. I've been asking people this question every interview I do, because I don't know, I love getting the response. And I think it's an important question for our own lives and what we think about the legacy we leave behind. So, Michael, for you, at the end of the day, when all is said and done, you've traveled the world, you've sang, you've been in movies like, God's Not Dead. What for you is the legacy you want to leave behind?
My gosh, that's a powerful question, Billy. I would say, first I'd say, people always say, what would you say to your younger self? I would say that choices have consequences, so choose wisely. But I hope to leave behind what my dad left behind for me, and his father for him, my grandfather. And that is loving people well, because love covers so much territory, a multitude of faults. Love is stronger than death. Love transcends death. I mean, it's amazing what love does, but we have used the word so much. It's become so callous sometimes. And so we're so jaded with the word love, and the idea of what love is, when true love is putting ones before yourself. Looking out for others and those that can't speak out. The Bible talks about when someone cannot be, represented well, maybe in the court of law, even just standing for those that can't, that don't have no representation. I just hope people see that my epitaph, that he loved well. He loved God. He loved his fellow man. And I love that. To go deep about, I wish I had done more for the Salvation Army or done more on the mission field. No, just loving people well. Because you love people well, God can use you in situations, conduit. He can get inside. Otherwise, it's all naught.
And what that's is it the call. Love? That's the call. Love God, love others, right? I mean, that's our
people
that
know me, people that know me and my family and know my dad. My dad know that we are Taits are lovers. The last name Tait actually means gregarious and joyful. We're that way about life and people. So there you have it. Stick to it, Duncan. How about you?
Hey.
That was good. That was powerful.
No, the legacy you want to, I look at some of the people that have fallen in the past, and I never want to do that. I never want to embarrass this great faith. That's one of the biggest things that I guard against. But Michael hit it on the head. I think we want to be a lover of people. We are a lover of people. I don't care your propensities. I don't care who you are, what you are. That's between you and your maker.
Yeah.
All I'm called to do is to go out into all the world and preach the gospel with love. Now, if I don't agree with you on some issue, it doesn't matter ultimately. What I am called to do is to love you. And I think at the end of the day, we want to be known as a man of love, because we were first love. I mean, my sin is no cleaner than anyone else's. I'm no more righteous, or was no more righteous than anyone else. So I was loved with all my dirt. Who am I to not give love to anyone else?
Duncan.
And I think that's the right.
Yeah,
I think at the end of the day, that's what I would want to be known for.
All dirt at the end of the day.
Lover of people.
Yeah.
I love that. You guys are bringing revival here. I love it. And people who are watching this right now are listening. You can go and check them out on the Stand Together tour. Thank you guys so much for your time today.